Hey everyone. I know. I keep on going on and off of the uh, whole thing. But, yeah. Alright. I need to start getting used to this live because I'm going to be doing it a lot more on Sundays, hopefully. Hopefully you'll be seeing your boy midnight all over plastered all over your TVs and mobile devices and whatever else whatever else you use to watch me. If you're watching me from a TV, after this live is posted, go down in the comments and say, hey, I watch you from a TV. If you're watching from a mobile device, you know, text on your mobile device and say, hey, I watch you on my mobile device. And tell me what it is. Is it an iPhone, iPad, Android, Fire, uh, you know, Amazon, uh, like mobile thingamabobber? Let me know. Also, while you're down in the comments or, you know, uh, commenting on this video, this live stream, I can't believe I'm doing a live. This is nerve wracking. I can't think beyond the point of no return. But, yeah, uh, tell me where you're from, you know, your state and country. Well, let's do it this way, just your country. Because I don't need to get personal. Tell you, tell me if you're a, hold on, I had to move the camera. Sorry. Not used to doing a live, so this is my first live if I have not told you. But tell me if you have a sibling or if you don't. If you have a sibling, do you have a brother or a sister or both? Um, tell me about what's happening in your life. What's going down, what's going on, what's happening, what's... Oh, I told you earlier on in the vlogs, or this live, I keep on calling it a vlog, and there's another guy riding this bike. Well, motorcycle. I call it a bike because it's easier for my brain to, be braining. So, and for those who have not watched my previous, there's a T on the end of that, my previous my previous videos, you know that I'm considerably older, as you can tell, but because I'm old, or older, then my thoughts and words sometimes get mixed up, and I mess up on the words and pronunciations and that kind of thing when I used to could figure them out, you know. And if I was a reading man, I might could again, but I'm not a reading man. I don't not like reading, especially if it's the Bible, but reading's not my strong point, you know. Just like math is not my strong point. My strong point is music. I love music with a passion. And I don't know if you can hear me or not. If you can, type a 1 in the chat. If there is anybody here. Nope, doesn't look like it. I guess I'll have to be live for a couple of hours just to have people come in and say, hey, what's up? I've had a joke running through my mind. And it's one that my mother and I would tell back and forth every once in a while. And you could tell it with different names like Bob, uh, Luke, no, not Skywalker, um, Kathy, that kind of thing. Although women would not be uh, in this joke, and you'll find out why. So Bob walked into a bar and said, "Ouch." Yeah, cringe. I know. That is another thing. That is another thing I wanted to talk to y'all fellas about. Young people. Youngins, as the old uns would say. What is it with the slang terms nowadays? Like slay or 6'7", that kind of thing. Like, what is wrong with these younger generations saying that? I mean, well, nothing's wrong in my mind, but how are we going to understand what it means if they don't share what it means? They just say it. They're like, slay queen. Now, I have looked it up, and slay actually is a form of telling you that you are the bomb.com. And now, in the past, okay, look at it from my point of view. In the past, that meant that you are really cool. So, don't come in the comments with me and say, hey, that's not a real terminology. Back in my day, it was. So, yep. Back in my day, that terminology, and that's funny too, is that different terminologies are really different nowadays. From back then, we had terminologies like youngin' and usins and that kind of thing. Today, it's slay queen or 6'7", or and then back then we had a saying called "Don't let the door hit you on your way out." Well, in today's day and date, we got other slang terms, and there's more motorcycle beings driving the motorcycles. Thank you for being so loud. Anyways, as I was saying, you have other younger generations doing a lot of slang. And if you see me looking up, it's not because I don't love y'all. It's because I love looking at the cars passing by the street here. So, but anyways, there are sometimes that I hear younger cousins going and saying slay or something like that, and I used to be like, what does that mean? Yeah, I gotta censor that, because you can't have music that people will know. That's just not allowed on YouTube. Twitch it might be, but not YouTube. Hey, we have Real Alfredo Chicken in here. He's a subscriber of mine. He's really cool, especially that YouTube channel. However, as going back onto the whole entire slang and terminology thing, I mean, have you ever walked into door, a physical door, and then saying, slay, ow. No, because that kind of thing won't exist. You know, that's just something that must not exist. And there are people walking the dog, so I can only imagine that the dog that I'm dog watching is going to go ballistic soon. No? Wow, I'm kind of shocked. He's probably snoozing extra hard, and his nose isn't working when he's snoozing. But anyways, there's a light up here, like one of those traffic lights that looms over the street. Looms. There's another different funny word, looms. But it's on right now during the daytime. And it's one of those solar powered ones that turn off when the sun's on. When the sun's on? Oh yeah, sure. Like it's going to have its own little light switch where you can turn on and off the sun. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a thing. Not really. See, I told you, my brain is fried when it's getting older. Fried. Fried green tomatoes. Back in my aunt's days, they would call it fried green tomatoes. But isn't it funny what you remember? Like one moment you're sitting there talking about your mother, and then the next minute you totally forget what you were talking about 5 minutes ago. Have that ever happened to you? Or you're sitting there doing something in the kitchen, and then you go back into your room, sit down, watch a couple of YouTube videos or shows, and I hope you're watching mine. If you are, thank you. If not, why in the world not? And why haven't you subscribed yet? Anyways, I'm getting off of track here. That's what happens when you get old. But I digress. I step back, and now I'm going to step forward because I hope I don't step in manure. That was random. Sorry. Where was I, guys? See, that's what happens when you get old. Don't do that. Don't ever get old. Don't ever lose your memory, okay? That really stinks. Oh yeah. So this has happened to me a lot lately. I would get up from my seat in my room, go into the kitchen, fix me something, and leave it on the counter. Come back into my room, sit down, only to figure out that I don't have it there in my person, or on my person, and so I can't have it in my person if I never had it on my person. Okay, let's continue, please, because there are people out there saying, will you please continue? Yes, I will. So I leave it on the counter, and I come back into the room, noticing I don't have whatever I have in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, are you kidding, midnight? So I get back up, go back to the kitchen, and do it all over again. Only this time I forgot how many times I went in there. Like, I remember once going in there to get it, then going back to the room, going back in there getting it, going back to the room and forgetting it again. Midnight. I tell you, have anything like that happen to y'all? If so, write it out here or something. If you're watching on the TV screen, well, may I give you an up-close and personal look upon my face? No. Many of y'all will be like, nope, bye, I'm out of here. Not doing that, right? Anyways, I'm out here on the back porch of a beautiful, cool type day. It's not hot, it's not cold, but it's cool, and I love it, you know? I love it being nice and cool. I don't like it too cold or too hot, because if it's too cold, I'm going to have to wear a jacket. If it's too hot, I feel like I'm sweating out the wazoo, you know? And now, if this sounds kind of like crazy and silly and funny, great, that's what I am. You know, I'm showing y'all what my true self is. I'm showing you how I am, the silly and foolish all day long, you know? And it's okay to be silly and foolish as long as you don't take it too far. Hey, look, there's a bird. And yes, I realize I'm just like that dog from Up. Doug, I think, was his name. You know, hi, my name is Doug, and I love you, squirrel. See? Yeah. But that was a funny movie, was it not? And some more of those bikers, I'm telling you. I don't know what to do when those bikers zoom by on their motorcycles. Or motorcycles? What are they called? See, that's one beauty of being old, is that you get to say it however which way you want, and it's not gonna affect you much, you know? So I decided that this live will not be going on that long, because I got things to do, I got people to see, I got dogs to feed, even though I don't feed them until later, but I do have dogs to walk, and I can't, you know, take y'all with me, unfortunately. If I could, I would, because I love every single one of you out there. I know I said that before, but I'm going to say it again and again and again and again until you put it into that thick skull of yours that I do love y'all. And there's someone else that loves y'all very much, besides your mother and dad, or mother and father, excuse me, and besides your grandparents, besides your aunts, uncles, friends, besides all them, there's someone more important, God. He cares about you and loves you, you know, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're going, no matter who you're talking to. But yes, I'm getting off on the religious side real quick. Let's transition from that into something else. Let's talk about senses of humor, shall we? And I've done this vlog on many times before about humor and what it's like to have humor. You know, the right amount of senses of humor is funny, but too much or too little, yeah, too much is kind of an overbearer. You know, it's kind of like telling a joke every hour, and then you have people saying, you know what, no, just hush. Then there's others that don't tell enough jokes, and you're like, are you okay in there? Hello? You know, it's just, I have this cousin, okay? I'm gonna go there, yes, I will. I have this cousin who is at times very, very funny. And I'm talking about one specific cousin. There are many cousins in my family here that I can be talking about, but I have this one specific cousin that is very humorous. It's just, how do I say this without hurting his feeling? I don't know if he's watching me live, and it's not the one that is watching me live now. That's not what I'm talking about, even though I don't know if this is the cousin that has this nickname or not. But, because, there's a lot of real Alfredo chickens out there. Alfredo chicken. That sounds good. I might want that tonight. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I just went off the railing. Anywho, let's get back on track here, shall we? The the thing about this one cousin is that one time I was sitting down as a family, as we usually do on Friday nights, and because if you're not sitting down eating, a family member, excuse me, what? No, you didn't hear that from me. I meant if you're not sitting down eating with family. There you go. Okay. Again, old age is kicking in and kicking my butt. But anyways, so I have this one family member who sits down Friday nights with us, and there will be a serious point of topic there about God and stuff like that. And then you hear this family member of mine pipe up and joke about something that isn't supposed to be funny. That's a topic that something's supposed to be like actually serious. Boy, I tell you, the look from his dad when he said that, man, timeless. I wish I wish I had a picture to show y'all, but that look was like, boy, if you don't hush right now, I'm gonna get out of this seat and throw you from here to Timbuktu. No, in all realness, he won't do that, because he's one of those loving and kind-hearted and loves his kids, immensely. He will do anything for his kids, and the mom also. That's one thing that I could always count on, was them being there for all of the kids, and so I don't want to get too emotional or sentimental here. Sentimental? What? Okay, that's going to be a new word in my English dictionary. Again, like I said, if I'm looking out here, it's because I'm looking at the cars going by, and the people on the sidewalks, and the bird shadows that go across the sky here. Speaking of sky, there's a Skyrider right up there, and I don't dare turn the camera around, but you'll have to believe me. And there's a lizard. Hello, Mr. Lizard, or Mrs. Lizard. Are you a lizard? Mr. or Mrs.? Yeah, you just heard a brain glitch right there. No, but I usually don't have like anything exciting to say other than the common humor of me. The humor of trying to make people laugh but not really doing so. Trying to think of something to say, but really in theory not having anything to say, just blabbing on and on and on and hoping people will tune in. I got something for you. Name something that embarrassed you. Okay, not embarrassed, but you found funny. And it could have happened to you, it could have happened to your siblings, it could have happened to your mom, dad, it could have happened to your grandmother. Again, something harmless and silly. Okay, that's a good one. Excuse me there, I've had a brain relax, because my brain saw a cool looking car and was like, ooh, the car. I watch a lot of movies. What can you expect? Can you tell me who in the world in this live chat right now, live stream, live chat, whatever, who likes Taylor Swift? I mean, I only have one viewer for now, but who likes Taylor Swift? I know of a cousin, a family member, I should say. I mean, a family member is a cousin, but, you know, I know of a cousin who either likes Taylor Swift or used to like Taylor Swift. And I mean, when I say like, I mean that cousin would sit there and sing her songs. I mean, and that cousin even gave me the title of honorary Swiftie. And I'm like, what? I don't want to be that. That cousin's like, you're going to be. I'm like, okay, fine. If you say so. Because, you know, when it comes to this one particular cousin, you don't argue with this one particular cousin. When that cousin says, do that, you're like, okay. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You know, you don't be like, but I don't want to do that. I mean, you can, but it's not going to bring any good for you. I am seeing a lot of white cars out there. Okay, now I saw colors in here. Like a red one, a blue one, a navy blue one. Okay. And I'm hearing a crow up there too. Oh, I see the sun peering through up here. I don't want to blind y'all, up there, because, the camera doesn't capture the sun very well. But if y'all were here earlier, y'all would have seen me show you the tree-like thingy, which is over there. Actually, see, I'm pointing the wrong way, but to y'all it's looking like I'm pointing the right way. Ooh, that was a cool looking car. Anyways, see, I'm getting way off track of what I'm trying to say. I don't really have a plan on what I'm saying. I'm just talking. How many people do that? They talk and talk, don't really have a plan of what they're going to say. I do know that I think a lot more than I have been. Those people that speak without thinking. I used to be one of those. Now I'm one of those people that think before speaking, because sometimes if you speak before you think, you could end up hurting someone. And I usually save this for the what? Hello, my brain just had a stroke. But anyways, I usually save it for a vlog, and I'm going to be doing one like right after this live. So stick around for that. It's going to be posted on my channel, our channel I should say, because you're part of the Midnighters out there, part of my family. So you're going to be sticking around for this, I hope, and everything. I'm not saying goodbye yet. I don't think how long have I been on? I can't see. I need stronger glasses. That's what I can see, is that I need stronger glasses. See, that happens when you get older. even younger generations would need glasses. But since I'm an older gen, the Gen Alpha, Gen Z, whatever you like to call me, Gen Beta. See what I did there? Um, Zen, Gen, whatever. Since I'm that old, I'm old enough to figure out what dog do looks like without even smelling it. Oh, that's another thing. I was watching YouTube the other day, like I usually do, because I am a tuber. And some YouTuber was watching, like, funny videos. And so this child, I want to say about 4 to 3, 2 to 4, around those ages, he saw a dog doing its business. So after that dog finished his business, that child went up there and sniffed at the uh, doggy business, and the mother yelled out, "Don't do that!" And right when she said, "Don't do that," his face fell into it. So that I found that kind of humorous because, sure, he didn't eat it and everything, but he did have it like right here on the tip of his nose, and he was perfectly fine. He didn't know that that happened. You know, he didn't cry or anything. So, you know that he was okay and everything. He got it wiped off, you know. So, it wasn't anything too brain damaging for him. He didn't go, "Mommy!" You know, he didn't panic, is what I'm saying. So, you know what I want to do? I want to go exploring abandoned buildings, but I want to do it legally. I don't want to do it like illegally, like some other people do. They go in and not ask. I want to ask. I want to say, "Hey, can I go explore your place? You know, for a YouTube video of ours and stuff like that." I also thought about doing some Randonautica stuff because it is random. And if you know me, which if you've been watching me for this long, you know me, I'm random. Thank you. Have a nice day, Mr. Motorcyclist. But anyways, I hope they don't watch this later. I pray and hope that they don't. But anyways, if so, I'm terribly sorry for doing that to each and every one of y'all. Don't come and kill me, please. Sorry, you can't say that on YouTube. Censored. Canceled. Okay. Anyways. But see, that's what makes my channel fun. Our channel. It's because I'm not afraid to say things risky. You know? A little risk is okay. Too much and then you're canceled, but... And that's another thing. Back in the old days, canceling oneself or canceling, you know, wasn't a thing. Canceling a TV show, that was a thing. But other people on, like, platforms of YouTube or Twitch. And I'm going to go off on another subject here. One that many other YouTubers have touched on. And that is Roblox. Oh boy. So, have you seen the news about how they are doing the whole entire scanning your face already? You know, how they are taking down classic faces and making you have to do dynamic 3D faces. You know? I mean, my theory is, and it's always been this way, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But anyways, if you've enjoyed this live and want me to continue doing this, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the miniature rant, miniature silliness that goes on here, and you want more of these every Sunday, or excuse me, every other Sunday, I should say. It's probably not going to happen every Sunday, but every other Sunday, then, please share this with your friends, please. Because I know y'all have friends out there. Y'all have lives outside of YouTube. So if y'all find yourself needing to and wanting to, like, subscribe, liking, comment, all of that is helpful. Sharing this video that you're watching or whatever in the previous term. Sharing it with friends, family, sharing it with, brothers from another mother that is like in school or something, and you're like, oh dude, I want to show you this YouTuber, yeah, when I see new subscribers, it builds me up and makes me feel like cool, I'm worth something. I don't know. I don't know how to express how thankful I am for each and every one of y'all. Because y'all take the time to watch. Y'all take the time to laugh along with me. Y'all take the time to laugh at my old age. And thank you for that. Because, I'm throwing all these good, juicy apple bombs out of your way there, and sometimes it's hitting and sometimes it's bonking you on top of the head. And if you get that reference, then you have been going to school. Good. But anyways, like I always say, I love you. Your mom and dad loves you. Your whole family loves you. God loves you. And remember, only we can change things one step at a time in each other. We just have to want to. God bless, and goodbye.